Hi there, it's Karen at Corrie Papercrafts, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in central Scotland. Welcome to today's Festive Friday project, and it's this one here. Now I'm posting this just slightly later than I normally would, and the reason for that is because this is actually a gift for one of the ladies in my team who's attending on stage at home the same as I am today. This is day one of our online Stampin' Up conference. We would normally be down in England somewhere, normally Telford or Birmingham, at a conference centre with all of our other crafty friends, but obviously this is November 2020 and things have had to be slightly different this year. So I'm posting this later because I'm not sure when Janice plans to open this. She'll definitely have received it a few days ago, but she might keep it like we've been keeping our swag, or some of us have been keeping our swag boxes that Stampin' Up sent us until the event actually starts. So the event in the UK was starting at 8 AM this morning as you're watching this video, so I'm posting this slightly later in the day so that Janice has had a chance to open this and see what's in it before she has a chance to have got any wind of this video. So this is actually Janice's gift. I've still to pop a label on it, but it's certainly all finished and wrapped up. And what is inside it is a Carpe Diem notebook and matching pens, which is what I've sent her as part of my gift. I've got a few other bits and pieces that I'm sending her in a little swag box, if you like, that I'm sending too. So that's what's in that, but I didn't want Janice to see that, obviously, before she's had a chance to open her parcels. Now, what I didn't tell you was the finished dimensions of this box. Because of the size of the notebook, it fits just nicely. That's 10 inches by 7 inches, or 7.5 inches, sorry, by 1 inch deep, which in centimetres is 25.4 by 19 by 2.5. So unfortunately, just because of the size of the notebook, you will need 12 by 12 cardstock and a piece of 12 by 12 DSP to make it. So for the base, you'll need a piece of cardstock which measures just a 1/16 or so less than 12 by 9.5. Or in centimetres, that's 30.5 by 24.1, and your DSP will actually measure 12 by 9.5, which is 30.5 by 24.1. So for the base, if you can see it here, just trim that about a 1/16 less, or just about on either side, or a couple of millimetres if you're working in metric. But the scoring for both is just the same. You can actually cut them both to exactly the same measurement and then use a shim as you score the base, but I find that just a little bit fiddly. So I tend to trim the base a little bit smaller than the DSP for the lid. You can, of course, trim that to the exact size and then add a 1/16 for a couple of millimetres onto your DSP. But for this one, for example, it's 12 inches on the long side, so you only get 12 by 12 in the DSP. So I tend to cut my base a little bit shorter and narrower. So apologies for any glare or any shadows. It is only the middle of the afternoon as I'm filming this, but it's a grey, horrible, yucky day in Scotland, and it looks like I'm filming in the middle of the night. There's no light coming from that window at all, so I do apologise. So on every side we're going to score it at exactly the same, and it's going to be 1 inch on all 4 sides. So just take your time so that you don't jump the track, because you're going to have wasted a bit of your cardstock, but obviously you've still got all this in the middle if you do make a mistake, but you don't want to jump the track, so just take your time. So that's the base scored, and then I'll just score the lid at the same time. So we're scoring at 1 inch on all 4 sides, which in metric is 2.5 centimetres. There we go. So yes, today is day 1 of our on stage event, and tomorrow is day 2. So we've got a good couple of days full of crafty fun, and I was actually at Stampin' Up's recognition event last night as well, because I promoted to silver with Stampin' Up earlier this year. So I was at the recognition event as you're watching this video last night, which would have been Thursday night, so that would have been Thursday the 5th, this being Friday the 6th of November 2020. And with the year it's been, obviously that's why we're having our event online this time. So I'm just folding and burnishing on all 4 sides of the base and the lid, and again, oops, thumping the tripod. I don't have a big desk and I always thump the tripod when I'm working, so I do apologise. I'm just taking my time so that I don't miss those score lines as I go. And I don't think I've told you, I was using Night of Navy cardstock for the base, and this is the Trimming the Town designer series paper, so quite a nice pattern on the inside as well, but I wanted the outside to be the Misty Moonlight side showing. And if I just bring the notebook back in, that is a really good match for the darker blue that's on this. So because it is actually going to be a Christmas present, this one, I wanted to use the Christmassy paper. So we're only going to do a little bit of cutting on each corner, and I'm going to cut my corners and wedge, and then I'm going to turn it round each time I cut. So I'm going to start here, and it's just this little small corner here that we're going to cut, and I'm going to cut this, keeping the straight edge on the rectangle, which is the main part of my box, and remove the score line onto my little square. I'll try and cut that a little bit better. And I'm going to, oh gosh, Karen, you know, when I've got my lamps on, sometimes I can't see as well as if I had some daylight. And then I'm going to turn that round, just rotate it round to the next corner, cut up to that horizontal score line there, and wedge into both sides, rotate it again, do the same again, keeping the square, the score line on the square rather, because we're cutting that all away anyway, like so. And then the last one, rotate it once more and keep the straight edge on the main part of the box and wedge that little square there. So once it's finished, we'll have, although they're quite far apart, we've got that sort of windmill effect, which is what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the base, the corners exactly the same way, but I won't make you sit and watch me doing that, so I'll be back to you very soon. And I'm back, having cut all the corners of the box and the lid. Now there's been a slightly longer delay than just a few minutes, because when I was filming this, we had a bit of a family emergency. I got a call in between, and I had to shoot off and deal with that. So we are finishing this video 4 days later. So it's only a few seconds on the video, but actually 4 days have passed. But the family emergency is fine to a point. So you might notice that the lighting's different. I can't remember if I had sleeves the last time I was filming this, because I've not looked at the first part. I've just thought I'll wing it and get straight on with the second part. So I've done all the cutting on the base and the lid of the box, and what I've also done is taken the time just to put some tape on all of the corners as well. And again, because this is going to be a gift for somebody, I've just made sure I've put plenty tape on to hold it all together. So that's what we're going to do now. We're just going to take all these backings off and put the box and the lid together, and they both go together, oops, in exactly the same way. So the power of technology, that you can see this video with a split second between the end of the last part and the start of this part, but I've filmed it between Sunday, which is the first part of the video, and Thursday morning, which is the second part. So I'm a bit out of sorts and can't quite remember what I'd been chatting about in the first part, but hey, we'll just get on and do it anyway. So because this is quite a big box, I do apologise that this is going together very close to the camera, and I'm hoping that that was all in shot. I apologise if it wasn't. I don't have any way of being able to see what's on the screen while I'm filming. And I'm just going to make sure that those corners are properly stuck down. Oh, we've got a bit of fluff. There we are. Now you'll always find that you've got a little bit of this, a little bit of gaping, just because the length of the box is so long. So I just gently give that a little press in the middle, trying not to crease the card too much, and it just brings it in a little bit. And we'll just do the same to put the lid together as well, get all the backings off. So I'm filming this, or I'm finishing filming this on Thursday the 5th. So our, Thursday 5th of November, and that's in 2020 for anybody who's watching this video at a later point. And our On Stage at Home starts later on this afternoon with our recognition session, and then our full days of on stage are tomorrow, which is Friday, and then on Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to this, but given that this is Friday's video that I'm finishing, because this is the box that I made for my team lady with her gift, which has now arrived. So I think I said I would post this a little bit later, but it has arrived. So I think she's opened it from the response that I got from her, but I'll make sure that I post this still slightly later on Friday anyway, just to make sure. So I'm really looking forward to the recognition event tonight, and 2 days of crafting and lots of fun and various other bits and pieces as well. And my swag box, I still haven't opened it, so that will be tomorrow morning. I don't even think I'm going to open it tonight, but I might, who knows. So again, we've got a little bit of gaping here, just a little gentle burnish to bring those in a wee bitty. And I'm just going to eyeball the middle of this box, or am I? I did say that this was a gift, didn't I? So I'm just going to make a pen mark at the 5-inch point, just there. On both sides, because I do want to make sure they're quite even, given that I am sending this off to somebody. So just make sure that I can see that. Oops, there we go. And because it's a bigger box, I've actually used my 1.5-inch punch to punch out the thumb notches on either side of this, and I probably should have done it before I put it together, but it's easy enough to do after I've put the lid together. But I would recommend that you do it beforehand, before you stick it all together. There we are, pieces of paper flying at me. So what I haven't done is moved around all the stuff that I moved the other day to get back to this notebook again. So hopefully, without knocking everything over, I'm going to pop the notebook in there, and it fits just perfectly. And pop the pens in the top just like that, and pop my lid on, and again, there we are, nice noise as the lid goes down. And I think I said at the beginning, it does sit up a little bit because of the pens in there, but it doesn't gape too much. And I'm going to put some ribbon on to hold it in place anyway. So I'm trying to decide between the white and silver metallic edged ribbon, or if I want to do the grey granite shimmer ribbon, and I can't decide. I think I'm going to go with the white because of the white in the stars, but I do quite like that sort of glittery look on the shimmer ribbon. But I think you probably just can't see that quite so well, so I'm going to stick with my metallic edged ribbon. So I'm just going to take lots of the ribbon off and pop it underneath like that. And you wouldn't believe that I'm filming this at, what time is it? 11:15 in the morning because it looks like night time again. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got enough ribbon here to be able to just loop that round and bring this round the bottom of the box again, like so. Oops, shouldn't have let that other bit go, but we'll sort it in a minute. So bring that back down to here, bring this up to here. My ribbon scissors are in a pile somewhere else, so if we cut that off, hopefully I've left myself enough to tie the ribbon, and I'm just going to hook that through. There we are, and without tying an actual knot in it, I'm just going to go ahead and tie the bow. On camera, so it never works. As always, it never fails. Well, it always fails, but it never fails to always fail, if that makes sense. So that will do us nicely, I think. And no, it won't, because I did manage to get it twisted, although I thought that I had managed not to twist that. So let's just try and sort that without completely oh, jings. Do you know, we've got a saying that comes from a Scottish comic called Oor Wullie, and it's Jings Crivens Help My Bob, and honestly the amount of times that I say that is quite unbelievable. So let's start again, let's check that it's not twisted, and it's not. So let's do that again, as Donkey says in Shrek. Make sure that this side doesn't twist this time. There we are. So hopefully we'll have a bit more success this time. It's obviously going to just be one of these videos that's just not going to have much luck around it, poor thing. So this time, let's see if we can tie the bow at the first attempt. Or on the first attempt, I'm not sure what the right grammar is. There we go. Twisted, twisted, twisted. Oh yeah boy, I need a cup of tea, but let's try it again. You're going to have fallen asleep, but I could shout or make a loud noise to wake you up if you want. Now this one's twisted. Do you know what? I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to tie my bow, and I will be back just in a minute. And first time off camera, of course it did. It tied perfectly. So I'm just going to give it a couple of little tails like that. And I apologise for the trauma of the bow tying. And I deliberately didn't put a label on because it was sent as a specific gift, and I think I'm going to leave this one the same for sending that off as well. I'm going to put a note in with it, but I just want to be handing over the plain packaging rather than trying to find a suitable sentiment. I'm going to actually write it in a personal little note. So thanks for sticking with me through all the traumas of abandoning you for 4 days, although you didn't know that until now, and not managing to tie a bow. And the ribbon not behaving. So I'll put all the links to the products I've used in the description bar below, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.